At the beginning of the film, we see a girl, Jackson, tying a rope with a fan because she was tired of her life. Now she puts that thing in her neck, but maybe she was not destined to die because the wire breaks and Jackson is saved from dying. Actually, she has a lot of problems in her life, and because of it, she is so worried that she became a victim of depression. She could not even lighten the burden of her heart because there is no one in her life who understands her pain. Now the scene shifts and comes to a man named Sam. He was late to come home from work today, so his wife asks why you are late today, what is the matter? To which Sam replies, there was work in the office, that's why I got late. Jackson sat on the ground and started crying because she was saved from dying. Then she messaged Sam. When Sam sees in his mobile that a girl named Jackson is messaging me and telling herself his daughter, he becomes surprised. Then he thought that someone is joking with him, but when that girl told her mother's name, Sam was surprised because this is the name of his first wife whom he had left. Jackson asks him to meet. Sam agreed, and he makes his wife an excuse for some important work and goes to meet her. They made a plan to meet in the park, where Jackson arrives first. When Sam came, he saw the sad and worried Jackson there and asks her, "Are you Jackson?" When she said yes, Sam sat next to her and they both started talking. Jackson tells him, "Yes, I am the daughter from your first wife. When you got married, my mother got pregnant. But by the time she told you, it was too late. Because you both were separated. Although now my relationship with my mother is also not good, she leaves me and lives separately." Now Sam was listening to him, but it was difficult to believe these things so soon. He did not even believe that I had a daughter because of all this. Sam was worried because it is obvious that he had remarried and perhaps his wife did not accept Jackson. She was also worried about her daughter. But what would he do? He could not take any decision for Jackson. Now he was leaving while saying, "Okay son, take care of yourself. We will meet again." But as he was leaving, they both saw a man coming who was wearing a pent coat and was moving ahead speedily. That man went to a girl and suddenly, his big mouth opens. He puts the girl's head in his big mouth, and then takes it in his mouth and swallows her, and his mouth closed again and came back to its original state. Seeing this, they lost their minds, and now that big-mouthed strange man started moving towards them, but they got scared. They quickly ran away from there and sat in the car and came back to their own house. Now Jackson could not believe her eyes that I saw a strange big-mouthed man. That's why she searched for him on the internet. But she does not get any information there. Now someone started banging on her door hard. Jackson was a little scared, but then she dared to open the door. There was no one, but when she closed the door and turned back to see, that big-mouthed man came inside. He opens his big mouth and starts moving towards her to swallow her, but she takes a rod and hits his mouth and runs away from there. Moves him aside and reaches straight to Sam's house. There was darkness in the house. She starts talking to Sam. She says that now he is after us, because today he came to my house. He will swallow us too, so we will have to run away from here soon. Come with me. But Sam refuses to go with her. Here his wife feels that something is going on between the two of them, but Jackson says, "Auntie, he is my dad and I am his daughter." Sam's wife doesn't believe her, but then she feels someone's presence outside when she removes the curtain and sees that man whom they saw in the park. He was moving to their house. Seeing him, Jackson says he is the big-mouthed man who is after us, so we have to leave soon, but they didn't agree due to it. Jackson becomes furious and she starts threatening them while showing a knife. Sam's wife gets scared and let her husband leave with Jackson. She leaves with her dad. On the way, Jackson tells her father that we will go to a friend's house because he knows a lot about such strange people. Now in the meantime, Sam's wife calls him because she was worried about her husband, but Sam does not pick up the phone but sends her his location, that where is he and where is he going at the moment, so that if his wife has to come, she can come through the location. In a little while, Jackson and Sam reached his friend's house, but when they went inside, there was a party going on. Everyone was drunk, even her friend, but he was a little conscious. Jackson tells his friend about that big-mouthed man and named him Chompy. She brings him out and takes him in the car and takes him with them. He asks him that, "What do you want from me?" On it, Jackson replies, "You make a magical circle for us so that Chompy does not come to us by crossing it and we do not get any harm." Meanwhile, they see the same pink jacket girl whom Chompy had swallowed in the park. Jackson stops the car and goes to that girl who was panicked. Jackson asks her, "What happened to you and what did that man do with you that day? How did you come out of him?" But that girl does not give her a proper answer. Now Jackson and Sam see Chompy coming towards them again. They get scared, and this time, they also make the girl sit in the car and run away from there. They again came to Jackson's friend's house. When they came inside, Sam goes to talk to Jackson, but they see her taking drugs, so he got angry and took the packet of drugs from Jackson's hand and throws it all down. On it, Jackson says to Sam, "Dad, you have no idea what is going on in my life. I am in so many problems. I am a victim of depression, so I do everything." Now listening to this, Sam is obviously sad. Now Jackson's friend asks the girl to come out of the car, but because she was sacred, so she refuses to come out. Then Sam brings the girl out of the car lovingly and picks her up in his arms and brings her inside the house. Jackson gets a book in which it was written about the strange creatures and monsters of the other world. Now when Jackson comes out of the room with the book, she sees that Sam is lying unconscious on the ground and that girl is sitting next to his mouth in a strange condition. As she saw Jackson, she ran away from here, so she was also surprised because of this. Now she quickly comes to Sam and wakes him up. When Sam comes to his senses, he tells Jackson that I was feeling like someone was trying to bite me. Jackson started looking at the book again, where she finally found out about the monster that eats people. Now she notices that Sam's one leg has become like a small child, which left him surprised and worried. His tension increased. Now to get his dad's attention off his feet, Jackson started talking to him here and there. Then Sam says, "I have called my wife and called her here." Listening to this, Jackson felt bad, and now she got angry with her dad and was leaving from there, but then she heard someone's voice outside. There was no one else but Chompy, who was now moving towards them. But this time she is not afraid. But she tries to talk to him with courage. Sam asks him, "What is the problem with you? Why did that little girl try to bite me, and why did she make my leg like this?" Jackson also asks him that, "Why are you after us? What do you want from us?" Then he sits down and opens his big mouth again and tells him with a sign that, "Come inside my mouth. You will get the answer to your questions." Now the frightened Jackson puts her head in the mouth of Chompy, and then all went inside and went into his stomach. Then he also asks Sam to come inside him, then he also goes into his stomach with a big mouth. Going inside, he sees that along with the mouth, his stomach is also big and of different kind. Where people listen to the voice of Chompy, he welcomes them. Then he tells them that, "I have actually come here to catch a devil, and the girl you met whom I swallowed. That devil is actually inside that girl. That devil inside the girl is biting people and making them like her." He also attacked Sam, when his leg has become like a little girl. Now if we will not finish looking for that devil, Sam will become exactly like that little girl, means her clone. So now both of them understand the whole thing, that why did Chompy swallow the girl in the park? The devil inside the girl will make its clone like this and bite people and make it like that girl. And here it will be the devil inside everyone, and its entire army will be formed. After it, Chompy take them out of his mouth, and they were happy that thank God he didn't harm us. And he wanted to help them and the rest of them, and they were misunderstanding him. Chompy was leaving, but then Sam's wife comes with a car and puts that car on Chompy. He was badly crushed and he dies WTH in open mouth. Now seeing this, Jackson becomes sad and sits next to his dead body. And while being sad, she says, "Chompy wanted to help us, but he died. Now what will we do?" Then Sam's wife says, "Let's call the police," but Jackson and Sam refuse to do this, because they do not want to take any new danger. After it, they put Chompy's dead body in the trunk of Sam's friend's car. Coming to the hotel, Jackson says to Sam, "Dad, you are so scared of your wife, are you her slave?" Now listening to this, Sam feels bad and says to Jackson that for now there is no time to talk about this. We should find that girl and talk to her with love. We should explain to her that how wrong she is doing while biting people and making their clones, but Jackson does not like this idea. She says, "Dad, what do you think? She will listen to us with love. We have to do what she has to do. We have to kill the girl so that the devil also ends." Now that girl goes to a girl and asks for help from her, so that she can also bite her and make her like herself. They sat in the car and left to talk to the girl. On the way, Sam says, "I can feel it because of my leg that the girl is around here." Now in the meantime she wants to see the girl with whom there were two more girls like her, who were actually her clones. Seeing this, Jackson came out of the car. Seeing her, the three girls start running away from here. Then Jackson catches one of them with the help of Sam's wife and starts trying to put her in the car, but a man sees her doing this. He thinks that they are kidnapping the girl, so he takes out his mobile and starts calling the police. Before he does this, Jackson attacks him and beats him a lot. Because of this, the man has to run away from there. They sit in the car and leave from there because they had closed the girl in the trunk. Now they come to Jackson's house and get the child out of the car difficulty and bring her inside the house, and she is tied to the chair. Now Jackson calls her friend, says, "We left the dead body of Chompy in your house, come here with it quickly." After a while, Jackson looks out of the house. There were a lot of clones of the girl who were moving towards their house. Here Jackson tells everyone that we should torture this girl, because it is possible that when she is tortured, then the other clones also feel the pain and leave from here. Sam refuses to do this. Outside, all those clones had come near the house. They open every window that comes inside and enter inside. Jackson's friend also came outside, but he could not come out of the car because there were clones around him. Jackson calls her friend and he asks what I will have to do now. She replies, "Make a magical circle for us so that the clones could not harm us." His friend says, "I do not know how to make a magic circle. I am not a magician." Sam sees that some clones have caught his wife and attacked her, and they are sitting on top of her. Sam also started fighting those clones, kills them and runs away from there and saves his wife. Now Jackson came out of the house. The clones who were blocking her way, she pushed them aside and asks her friend to open the car's boot quickly. As he opened the car's boot, Jackson caught a clone and put it in Chompy's mouth. But then another clone catches Jackson and throws him in Chompy's mouth. Sam and his wife were sitting in one place. He sees that his wife's hand has also become like a little girl due to it. Both of them get worried and the clone were knocking their door hard. Now when Jackson went into Chompy's stomach, he talks to the real girl there. The girl tells him while crying that I do not want to harm anyone. But the devil inside me is biting everyone and making them like me. He has bitten my parents through me. Later, he bites many people who have become like me. Before he overpowers me here and I lose my control and harm you. Please go away from here, but she refuses to go. She was pitying that girl, so she decides to take a risk to save her life and tells her that you send that devil inside me. I will try my best to fight that devil. Saying this, she hugs the girl and the devil inside her comes out and goes inside Jackson. As this happens, all the clones that looked like a child now look like Jackson. Jackson was in her senses. She fights the devil and forces all those clones to come into Chompy's stomach. Now as all those clones enter Chompy's mouth and come into his stomach, they all come back to their original form. At the same time, Jackson was also fighting the devil inside. Now Sam also came into his stomach and helps his daughter Jackson to fight the devil. Now they together put a lot of force on the devil and take him out of Jackson's body. He leaves this world from here, but before going, he closed the way to go out, so now the father and daughter could not get out of here. Meanwhile, Sam's wife and Jackson's friend make a way with the help of a rope and take them out safely. They were happy meeting each other, and that girl from whom the devil had left forever, she was also happy to see her parents back in their original form. Here Sam says, "Jackson, my daughter, forgive me. I stayed away from you for so many years and could not even find out about you. I am the reason for your depression. Forgive me, my daughter. I will take care of you in the future." Saying this, he became emotional and hugged Jackson. She also weeps seeing her father's love. Here his wife had also accepted Jackson as her daughter, and in this way his family was completed. This is the happy ending of this movie.